This is Are Neighbors Good or Bad for Your Acropora? Join us as we master coral placement, dodge silent coral killers, and finally explore the pivotal question every advanced reef hobbyist should consider. Who should live next to my Acropora? Welcome back to the channel, Reef Tank Enthusiasts. If you're passionate about reef keeping, SPS corals, coral growth, reef aquascaping, and especially Acropora, you're in the perfect place. This will be episode number 1 of a 2-part series. In this video, we'll explore what makes Acropora coral the crown jewel of SPS corals. No other coral can match its beauty and uniqueness. A brief overview on Acropora's history and captivity, including Elizabeth Wood's insightful warning from 1983. And the legendary Stuber Acropora and its humble beginnings. The fascinating relationship between lighting and zooxanthellae that fuel stunning color and growth. The best coral companions for Acropora and ones to steer clear of. Aggressive LPS corals and softies that pose a threat to your Acropora with toxins, sweeper tentacles, and a deadly something that will surprise you. Scientific references on beneficial bacteria and coral competition that will amaze you. Expert tips on aquascaping, maintaining ideal reef tank parameters, and perfect coral placement to create a thriving and less dangerous mixed SPS display. This isn't just another reef tank tip video. It's an inspiring journey filled with modern reef methodologies, valuable insights from our coral community, and my decades of hands-on experience in keeping reef aquariums. Let's embark on this adventure together by starting with the basics. More on these topics right after this. You have to love reefing. Let's start by defining Acropora. Acropora is a genus of small polyp stony coral, or SPS coral, in the phylum Cnidaria. With over 150 known species, Acropora corals are widely distributed across the Indo-Pacific, the Great Barrier Reef, and with 2 or 3 species in the Caribbean. Their meaning comes from the Greek word akron, meaning tip, the very top, and poros, meaning pore, literally describing their pore-filled branch tip. These branch tips are where rapid growth and vibrant color emerge, making Acropora the poster coral for thriving reef tanks. Acropora are best known for their incredible color morphs include electric blue, radiant purple, neon green, deep reds, vibrant yellows, and breathtaking rainbow hues. Impressive enough, some Acroporas can have as many as 7 colors on one colony. Remarkable growth rates when provided with the right conditions. Iconic branching structures that enhance aquascaping and flow dynamics. Acting as a barometer for reef health, when your Acroporas flourish, it's a sign that your entire ecosystem is thriving. However, their beauty comes with a challenge. Acropora demand perfection, and you thought it was just your boss. Everything from stable alkalinity to low phosphate levels, balanced calcium and magnesium, high PAR lighting, and intense flow must be meticulously maintained for outstanding results. But what if all this effort leads to faded corals, retracted polyps, or STN, slow tissue narcosis? This is where the harmony of coral neighbors come into play, and that's essential. But before we go there, a brief look back at the beginning. Why, may you ask? Because our lighting, water chemistry, and flow systems weren't advanced enough. The role of zooxanthellae, coral allelopathy, and coral aggression wasn't a consideration. In 1983, Elizabeth Wood wrote in Corals of the World that Acropora should not be kept in captivity except in public aquariums. Yet, just 2 years later, in 1985, the famous Stuber Acropora proved that it was possible, that they can be kept in captivity. This coral colony not only survived but thrived in captivity, and fragments of it still live in reef tanks around the globe. Interesting enough, Stuber's Acropora started life in his aquarium as a hitchhiker on recently acquired live rock. In addition, I authored the first ever article on Acropora fragmentation in 1993, which was published in Pharma magazine in 1995 and republished in 2014 for Reef builders at the request of Jake Adams. In it, I shared my journey and the table saw experience required for this very large yet colorful Acropora. This article helped spark the SPS interest in reef culture, and now Acropora is arguably the most sought-after coral in the saltwater aquarium world. SPS coral defined as: SPS stands for small polyp stony corals and are categorized by rigid calcium carbonate skeletons, tiny polyps that retract when stressed or disturbed, highlight and flow requirements, sensitivity to water quality and stability. Other SPS corals include Montipora, which can be plating, branching, or encrusting, and somewhat easier to keep than Acropora. Pacillopora, Porites, Stylophora, Seriatopora, and Anacropora, each with distinctive growth forms and moderate care levels. However, Acropora remained the gold standard of SPS. It is the coral that challenges reefers to level up and rewards success with vibrant, fast-growing structures that dominate the aquascape. Coral placement and neighbors matter. Now, here's a core question. Does it matter who lives next to your Acropora in your reef tank? Absolutely. Acropora corals are susceptible to chemical warfare, allelopathy, and aggressive coral behavior. While some LPS and softies may seem peaceful, many release toxins, extend sweeper tentacles, and even reduce photosynthesis in nearby Acropora colonies. Let's break this down. There are 3 significant ways coral neighbors can impact your Acropora. Number 1, chemical toxins, allelopathy. Some soft corals like saprophytans release terpene compounds which inhibit photosynthesis in nearby Acropora and act as an antiphytaments. Number 2, physical aggression. LPS corals like Hydrophora and Galaxia have long sweeper tentacles that sting and kill Acropora tissue overnight on contact. Number 3, bacterial competition or support. Some corals introduce pathogenic bacteria into the water column, while others support beneficial microbes. Studies in the Journal of Experimental Marine Biology and Ecology have shown that certain bacterial strains are beneficial to Acropora's health, immunity, and nutrient cycling. In addition, studies in marine ecology show that high inorganic phosphate concentration in coral mucus are utilized by heterotrophic bacteria. So, coral placement isn't just about aesthetics, but biological compatibility. The Journal of Experimental Marine Biology and Ecology found coral mucus effects on bacterial growth, respiration, and grazing mortality in reef systems. In the introduction, corals release mucus into the surrounding seawater as a defense mechanism against pathogenic bacteria and various stressors, such as pollution, ultraviolet light damage, and desiccation. Mucus was released by Acropora species into seawater that acted as an energy carrier and a particulate trap in the reef system. In the study published by Marine Ecology, high inorganic phosphate concentration in coral mucus and its utilization by heterotrophic bacteria in a Malaysian coral reef. Inorganic nutrient contents of mucus released by Acropora corals and its utilization by heterotopic bacteria. The dissolved inorganic phosphates concentration was 135-fold higher than in the ambient seawater. Heterotopic bacteria rapidly, within 8 hours, consumed 80% of the initial concentration. A study published in Science Direct titled Defense Strategies of Marine and Aquatic Organisms. Coral Defense. The soft coral saprophyton produced the toxic tarpine, which releases into the water, causing the decrease in photosynthesis of the coral Acropora. A study published in Marine Ecology, Effects on Soft Corals on Scalarinean Coral Recruitment, Allelopathy, Spat Survivalship, and Reef Community Structure. Find soft corals have an allelopathic effect on recruitment and early development of Scalarinean corals, and consequently on early coral reef community successions. Now that we've covered why Acropora coral is so sensitive to its surroundings, let's explore the best coral neighbors to place around your Acropora colonies. And yes, there are some safe choices that you can bring color, contrast, and compatibility to your reef aquascape. Let's break it down by coral type and reef tank strategy. Generally, these SPS corals are your safest bet, but with one huge caveat: give them space. Compatible SPS options include Montipora, which can be plating, encrusting, and branching varieties. These tend to grow away from acroporas and don't release harmful chemicals, and they can add a splash of color, texture, and aquascape. A little word to the wise: if you're getting plating or encrusting Montipora, place them at the lower region of your aquarium so that way when they grow out, the encrusting don't interfere with your acroporas, and the plating don't shade the acroporas or other corals underneath them. Stylophora, chunky branches, intense coloration, and generally non-aggressive. These require strong water movement. Seriatopora, often referred to as bird's nest coral. Beautiful branching structure, just don't let it touch your Acropora, as it can overgrow. If this coral finds itself in the right location, they will outcompete and outgrow your Acropora. An Acropora is technically an SPS, but is fast growing and less demanding than Acropora. It is safe as long as spacing is managed. These corals thrive under similar lighting and reef tank parameters as Acropora: high PAR, strong water flow, and low nutrient conditions. If you're creating an SPS-dominated reef tank, this is your foundation. Best LPS corals. Now here's where it gets tricky. Not all LPS corals are dangerous, but you must choose wisely and maintain clear boundaries. Best LPS neighbors for Acropora. Let's start with Blastomussa. Stunning fleshy polyps, no sweeper tentacles, and incredibly peaceful. In addition, you can find these in a large host of colors, and they do fill up the bottom nicely. Duncanopsomnia, a low aggression, fast growing, and responds well to target feeding. Though it's not necessary, I would recommend just giving it great light, good water movement, and it will outpace any of your other corals. Micromussa, peaceful under most conditions, but keep at least 3 to 5 inches away. Mesenterial filaments are dangerous with this coral. It will send them out and look for the next meal that it can get, as well as increase its territory. Favia, moderately aggressive but manageable if spaced far enough. They do send out sweeper tentacles that you have to be careful with. The key to success here is coral placement. Use frag racks, rock islands, or isolated zones in your reef aquascape to create distance. This protects your SPS corals, prevents shadowing, and reduces the risk of allelopathic warfare. Zoanthids and Recordia, both can be very colorful. Many reefers love the vibrant look of zoanthus and ricordia mushrooms next to their SPS gardens. They can be good neighbors in moderation. Zoanthus don't have sweeper tentacles and typically don't harm Acropora directly. However, they can overgrow the base of SPS corals if unchecked. Can introduce toxins like polytoxin during fragging or stressful events. They can compete for light and flow. Ricordia, Florida, and Yuma are generally safe, but can grow large and shade smaller Acropora frags. So if you love a mixed reef aesthetic, keep them low on the rockwork and isolate them by placing them on their own little islands or frag stations. Now let's mention coralline algae, the silent ally. It is not a coral, but deserves mention. Purple, pink, lavender-colored coralline algae is a sign of a healthy reef and makes an excellent neighbor for your Acropora. Some of the benefits: outcompetes nuisance algae like bryopsis and dinoflagellants. Stabilizes live rock surfaces for frag mounting. It doesn't release toxins or aggression. Indicates stable alkalinity, calcium, magnesium levels, exactly what your Acropora needs. If you see coralline thriving, it's a great sign that your reef chemistry is on the right path and stable enough for Acropora, though it is not a guarantee that parameters are perfect. So keep monitoring your system. So keep in mind, spacing is critical. Even peaceful corals can become dangerous if they're too close, especially as they grow. Use strong flow, high par LED lighting, and reef-safe additives like glue gel and epoxy to mount your frags on elevated or angled surfaces. Think vertical aquascape on coral zoning. So, let's say you've got your Acropora frag mounted, your par dialed in, and your alkalinity stable, and you're watching polyp extension like a proud parent, but then tissue recession, burn marks, strange losses. You look around, and there it is, a coral creeping a little too close. Let's talk about the villains in your SPS garden. If you found this deep dive in part 1 helpful, drop a like, smash the subscribe button, and leave a comment with your favorite Acropora, or share your most surprising coral neighbor experience. I know in part 2, I will share my top 3 or maybe even my top 5 favorite Acroporas in the whole world. And for me, it's not about color. It's about their look, their texture, their design, their growth pattern. Make them unique and interesting. Check out the link in the description for my book, which will give you a lot of insight on compatibility from your Acropora colonies. Until next time, keep the parameters stable, flow random, light dialed in, and may your Acropora colonies grow stronger with every polyp extension. This is VargasReef, bringing modern reef methodology to your screen, one coral at a time. So until next time, you have to love reefing.